We've got quite a heavy agenda ahead of us. So I will start with item 1, which is the webcasting introduction. I'd like to remind everyone that this meeting will be filmed, live or recorded and uploaded to the internet and will be capable of repeated viewing. Therefore, by participating in this meeting, you are consenting to being filmed and to the possible use of those images and sound recordings. If any public speakers on MS Teams do not wish to have their image captured, they should ensure that their video settings throughout the meeting are turned off and set to audio only. Members, I don't need to remind you, when you're speaking, turn your microphone on, and when you've finished, turn it off. Thank you very much. Item 2 is apologies for absence.
I only know about Councillor Bedford.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Patel may still be poorly following on from last Thursday. If we then move to item 3, minutes of the last meeting, can I take those as an accurate record? Thank you very much. Any additional reports of portfolio holders? Councillor Kesker.
Thank you, Chairman. Just to say that an update for our licensing policy will be coming through later in the year. It's got to go to the members of the licensing committee and will then go out for consultation before it comes back to the Cabinet. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Councillor Kesker. Then we move on to item 5, which is public questions. A request to address the Cabinet?
None, Leader.
Thank you. Okay, report of overview and scrutiny. Councillor Gould.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Lily. Yes, I do have a short report. I'd just like to say that I'm delighted to continue in the role of Chairman of Overview and Scrutiny. This municipal year is an important year as plans for the local government reform materialise and evolve, an area which should be of interest to all members and to scrutiny, of course. The work programmes of the Scrutiny Committee will continue to consider the organisational and financial performance of the Council and the programme of executive decisions. We will also have some single item meetings, as we did last year, including, if agreeable with the Leader, the continuation of early engagement with the budget process. All members are welcome to attend all scrutiny meetings, I always say this, and to forward any items they feel should be included in our work programme. The first meeting of the Overview and Scrutiny Committee is 10th of June, when we will hear the Leader's priorities for this municipal year. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Baldwin, and thank you for that introduction to overview and scrutiny for the year ahead. And we, of course, look forward with engaging with your committee, both on the budget and other issues as the year moves on. I'm glad you mentioned local government reform. Obviously, that's an important piece of work that's ongoing. And as you know, at the annual full council, I now have 2 deputies, and Councillor Balcom will be attending the meeting of those councils looking for the solution of 5 as the business case, while I attend the meetings of the group that are looking at the evidence first and then coming to a solution. So we'll be looking forward to coming to your committee, and we'll be updating you on a regular basis along with our portfolio holder advisory group in due course as well. There's new evidence arising all the time, and certainly a lot to talk about as we move forward. And we look forward to that engagement as the year progresses. So thank you for that. Any members with any questions for Councillor Baldwin? No? Okay. Thank you for that report. And if we move forward to agenda item 7, which is the St John's Buckerstill Conservation Area. Councillor Williamson.
Thank you, Leader. I'm delighted as a resident and councillor for Buckerstill to bring this forward. This council has a duty under the Planning Act 1990 to determine areas which it is desirable to preserve and enhance. Paragraph 204 and 205 of the MPPF 2024 states that we should ensure that an area justifies such status. The original suggestion came from a heritage asset review in 2012. The boundary captures the area deemed to meet this status and includes the listed church and other locally listed properties. The introduction of an Article 4 direction on properties means that certain changes will now require planning permission. This was brought in order to conserve the character of the area and protect it from potential threats. The consultation, I've read all of the responses, all of the notes, and it very much overwhelmingly agrees with this conservation area coming in. It's got overwhelming support. There were some comments regarding the actual process to begin with, which is why we extended the consultation period and also put some more notices out. I'd like to thank the officers for all the work they've put into this. It is an amazing piece of work. I recommend the actual study to everybody to read with anybody that's got an interest in Buckhurst Hill or local history. It's an absolutely fascinating read. And on page 19, it actually mentions that at some, I think it was the end of the 17th century, if I got my notes correct, it was actually called Bucket Hill. And for those of you that like to keep up appearances, we prefer Bouquet Hill. Really, I've got nothing further to say, but the recommendation is to agree to the designation of the area around St John's Church, Buckhurst Hill, as the St John's Conservation Area, and to agree that the St John's Character Appraisal and Management Plan be adopted. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor Williamson. Any comments from members? Councillor Brooks.
Though I represent the other side of the tracks, as it were, I think this is to be welcomed. I know it's taken us a while to get it going, but I think it's a really good idea, and I think that most residents would welcome it as adding and keeping the character of that part of Buckhurst Hill.
Thank you, Councillor Brooks, and I'm sure Councillor Williamson would agree with that. This is really something for the whole district, and I think it's important to recognise that. I think it's also important to recognise the amount of effort that goes into preparing these reports, and the officer team, and Mr Richardson, if you could take that back to officers, we really do appreciate it, especially at this time when we are so, busy. Not only the implementation of the local plan, but of course all the planning issues that are around us at the moment, and officers are really, really frantically, pedalling hard to make sure that we've got the capacity to deliver items like this on top of what we do anyway. So it's really appreciated. Members, you've got the recommendations before you. I see no other speakers. Can we take the recommendations as being agreed? Thank you very much. Members, there are no any other items of business this evening. We have no reason to exclude the public and press, therefore I call the meeting to a close. Thank you all very much.